Hi, everyone. Welcome once again. This is Saharan Sab. Welcome. I'm going to call this session, I'm thinking of calling it Tales by Moonlight. When I was a kid, there used to be this TV series called Tales by Moonlight, where we'll be talking about a lot of things going on, events, and also I'm very keen on soft skills and tech jobs. So as I usually send some jobs around. So about talking to you guys about many things, about my experience, what I do, and see how best I can help you guys. So what I intend doing is that every alternating week, I would recreate the content for social media posts. Let's say for today, for example, if we have a session today, we talk about a particular topic. The following week, I'm going to create maybe a shorter version for it that you can also rewatch again, or that'll be more in-depth. But the session that is going to be live is going to be more for discussion, question and answers. Sometimes I'm going to invite guests to come also share with us their experience and how they got a job or how they're doing what they're doing. So you're once again welcome to the Tales by Moonlight. Sounds funny in my mouth, but it is what it is. All right. So today we're going to be looking at dollarization. So it's a term I heard recently. It's a term I heard about 2 weeks ago. I attended an event, an FTX event. FTX is an exchange that's collapsed. They've scammed a lot of their customers. But at the event in Ghana, I learned something called dollarization. So it's more like how to convert or how to preserve your currency in dollar. So let's say some of us here, all the groups here are either from Ghana or Nigeria. I'm in Ghana. So in Ghana, we've realized that the cedis has been dropping dramatically. And earlier this year, the cedi to a dollar was around six cedis to a dollar. So earlier this year, $1 was equal to 6 cedis. And I remember towards around the middle of the year, I converted, I had some dollar. And as at that time, the exchange rate was about $1 to 7 cedis. And I think about 3 months later, when I was liquidating the dollar, because I needed cash, I needed cedis on me, I was exchanging that dollar for 10 cedis per dollar. So it was crazy. It was good for me because I was able to preserve value for my money and I had more money. To some people, you might think that it's a good thing that, oh, when you were saving the dollar, it was 7 cedis. And when you were liquidating it, it was $10. It was 10 cedis. It might look nice, but generally, everybody's affected. It's not, you might think that you might have value, but what happens is that everybody raises the price of commodity. So it's good in a certain sense. In the long term, if it was a longer term that I did the transaction or the preservation, it would have made more sense. But what happens is that as the dollar increases against the cedi, everybody, market women, whoever, they also increase the price of everything. So they become a point of equilibrium at a point. So you might think that, oh, when I preserved the dollar, it was 7 cedis, but when I was liquidating, I was converting back to cedis again, it was 10 cedis. So I made a lot of money. Although you're making a lot of money, the local provision shop also have increased their price of commodity. But this only works when you do this for a very long term. So most often time, you find out that investments, they only make sense in the long term. If you do short-term investments, you might not see the real value of the investment. So as we are growing up, preserving money, looking for ways to keep our money. So this is also another thing you should look at. Earlier this year, I was looking at buying some investment from EcoBank Ghana. But recently, the Ghana government made some laws after the cedi was depreciating so fast. Then I saw someone making a comment about that particular investment I was about doing. The person said, the bank is even going to deduct something from their money that they've kept in the investment portfolio with them. And I was like, thank God I didn't do this, because not only that the cedi has lost so much value, now the bank is also charging something based on the government. So you might say, oh, why am I talking about this? The essence of this series is that we'll be talking about a lot of things, but I just want us to to clear some of these things from the way, that as we start making money, one of the things that you come to realize is that how do I preserve the value of my money? Because the city has lost almost half of its value just this year. So as you grow up and you have more responsibilities, you realize that things are not really the way you think they are. So you'll be looking for avenue, you'll be looking for where to save money. And I know most of us here are also used to crypto native as well. But we've seen that the crypto as well has not really gone well. Crypto has not really gone well the way we expected it. And a lot of crashes are happening this year. Because even me, for instance, I did some investment in crypto at the beginning of the year, but I was making so much losses. So I stopped. So for like since March, I've not bought anything crypto or touched anything crypto. It's also part of trading. A good trader also knows when to stay out of the market, but I don't tell people to trade. I know how to trade. I build trading instruments, but I don't encourage people to trade. You rather go and start a business. Have a business that you're doing than to trade some investment or trade the forex market. It's very dangerous. And as a young Africans, we're trying to preserve value to our money. So first thing first, how do you make money? Or when you've made your money, how do you preserve the money or the value of your money? Naira, cedis, shillings, all African money is losing value against the US dollar. One of the things that our government might not be saying is that the US government pumped more money into the system, like they raised their interest of the US dollar this year. Joe Biden raised it. So that alone affects countries like Ghana and Nigeria that depends heavily on imports, especially Ghana. We import a lot of things. So it affects our currency. Someone said, I was listening to an economist yesterday, and he said, we Ghanaians, we have taste for foreign goods and services. So that's what's weakening our dollar, our cedi instead, sorry. So today we're just going to look at dollarization, where to preserve value. In subsequent weeks, we'll be looking at what to do. I was telling you guys how I charge people. Interestingly enough, when I woke up this morning, someone called me and was asking me that how much will I charge per hour for a particular service she wants me to do. So she's sending a budget to a client and she wants to know my contribution to it. How much will I be charging? And I was thinking, how much will I charge? How can I, in Ghana, guys, they've increased their minimum wage, the daily minimum wage to 14 cedis. That's barely $1 or $2 per day. And the government just included, and it's a major news and people are happy. But so I said, okay, how am I going to charge this lady? How am I going to tell her? So do you know what I did? I went online. I looked at the minimum per hourly charge in New York. How much do people charge, or what's the minimum per hour rates if you're living in New York? Because that's how I want to earn in dollars. Although I'm living in Ghana, I'm living in Africa. I want to be able to earn as much as someone in the West. That's the only way I can say I don't want to travel to the West or anything. If I'm able to earn well enough as I'm living in Africa or in Ghana, or wherever I find myself. So I went to New York. I went to the internet and I searched per hour rates in New York, and it was about $15 per hour. $15 per hour. I'm like, yeah. So I got back to the lady. I told her that I'm going to take $15 per hour for the work you want me to do. So even if I'm working, how do you say? Even if I do just 1 hour a day, in 20 days or so, I would have gotten like $300. And $300 is like, more than more than the average salary of many people in Ghana. The average salary in Ghana is like 2,000 cedis, and 300 would be like 4,000 cedis in Ghana. So these are some of the things we'll be looking at, and I'll be sharing my experiences with you and how I even made. It was recently I just realized that I made about $10,000 from a particular contract from late last year into early this year, because I spread the money, so I didn't really see it. But when I calculated the thing, I realized that, hey, I did make some money from this particular gig. So these are the things we'll be sharing. And I really want all of you to also to know what to do and to earn in dollars, because that's the most reasonable thing to do. Local jobs doesn't really give much. And even when you earn locally, how can you preserve the value of your money? So now let's go back to let's go to the strongest currency in the world, or one of the strongest currencies in the world. It used to be, so most people think that the US dollar is the strongest. There's great British pounds there, and there's even Japanese yen as well. These are also equally strong currencies. So, as I said, investments mostly works when you do it for a long term. Doing investment for short term, you will not see the real value. But when you say that, okay, I'm saving maybe $10 every month for the next 10 years, I tell you, when 10 years come, you might not feel the pinch. You might not feel the pinch, but in 10 years' time, you know you will feel that you see that without putting in much work, you've gotten so much money that you could use to do something. So how do you preserve value? I don't know if you can see my screen, please. And am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, please let me know.
No, it's okay.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I can.
All right.
I can see your screen.
All right. So you can see the dollar's image on the screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thank you. So every currency is losing value. So if you're in Nigeria and you think that your Naira, you're going to save in Naira, you're in for a rude shock. Even the US dollar has lost its value in terms of if you are living in the US. So this chart is, a dollar's worth, purchasing power of the US dollar from around 1910 to 2020. So if you look at the chart very well, I don't know if I can draw anything on the screen. Excuse me for a minute, please. Annotation. All right. So this is where we are. This 1910. All right. The 00 axis, I know our Y and X axis, right? So in 1910, you could see that the value, like this is $1. This is just $1, right? In 1910, what is $1 right now was about $25. That's what the value was. But in 2020, what was $1 in 1910 could be valued as $25. And you can see how the value has dropped over the years from 1910, 1920, 1930, 1940, all the way. It kept dropping. Then in 1970, there's what we call the gold standard. So the gold standard is abandoned and currencies are no longer linked to gold. So what happened in 1970 was that previously, truly previously, every currency, every paper money you have is backed by gold in the bank. But this stopped being the way in 1970. So now you can have money, all the paper money that we have in the system, maybe the cedis or the Naira, they are not backed or necessarily backed by a gold value in the central bank of whatever country it is, but it's backed by purchasing power. It's backed by the government, whatever the government say it is, and the ability of the country to trade, how much is going out, how much is coming in. So that's why it's very important that the government knows how much is coming into the system, because that also affects the local currencies that we have. So like, for instance, I think if you're bringing more than, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm just putting a random figure in my head right now. I think it's $10,000 or so. If you're bringing that amount in cash and maybe you're traveling into the country in Nigeria, in Ghana, you have to declare it at the airports. So because they have to know, the government have to know the money that is bringing. So this is a problem with crypto as well. Crypto is deluding the government because the government can't tell how much is coming in, how much is leaving. So that's one of the major problems government have with crypto. So because money, and they say money laundering is not really the issue, but like the inability of the government to regulate how much or to know how much comes in and how much goes out is one of the problems that government have with crypto. So generally, the money that you have right now in your bank, on your digital wallet, or in your wallet right now, it has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold as it used to be pre-1970. So let's go on and see what happens. So you see that the dollar has been on the decline, and this is 2020 where the chart ends. So you can imagine if this is what happened to the US dollar you can imagine how what would have happened to the naira or the cedis. So this is the US dollar. This is one of the strongest currencies in the world, and this is what has happened to it in, I don't know in how many years it is. So what would have happened to your local currency? So now at the FTX event, what I learned was that before FTX collapsed, what I learned was that FTX had a system whereby you could easily move your cedis into their exchange and convert it to dollars. Very easy for Momo. All you have to do is just move your money from Momo and send it to their platform and have it converted to dollars and leave it there. You can do the same thing on Binance, but in Binance Ghana, you have to use your bank account. So it was very game-changing because more people in Ghana use mobile money, unlike in Nigeria, where people use more of your bank accounts. And mobile money just came into the system more recently, I think this year. So it's really game changing. So it's up to you now to think, okay, which part of my income will I be saving in dollars that will not affect me? And as I told you, and I showed you an example earlier at the beginning of this session, that when I saved my money in dollar earlier this year, the dollar was $1 to 7 cedis. Then in less than 3 months, over a 3-month time, it has moved to $1 for 10 cedis. So you can see how fast it quickly changed. So imagine, you can imagine if I was doing this for a long time, maybe let's say 12 months. Imagine how much the local currency or the cedis would have lost against the dollar, and how much I would have gained by preserving my money in dollars, in dollar. So this is what dollarization simply means. It means just preserving your currency in the US dollar. So I have some few adages or some few sayings that in pidgin, the person don't chop belle food, they invest, or the person don't chop belle food, they save. If you have immediate needs or your income is not even sufficient enough, you cannot save. You'll be under a lot of pressure not to save. It becomes almost impossible to save. And also now you're in a very tricky situation whereby even if you save in your local currency, the money will lose so much value. So that's why you're trying to look for where to hedge. A hedge is where to keep your money, where to hide your money. That's what we mean by hedge. Hedging means, okay, I'm going to save this money here. I'm going to buy something. And if I'm in trouble, I will sell it so that I can get money back. But I'm going to preserve my money in something. So that's what hedging means. So as we grow up, as we begin to earn a lot of money, I want you to think in these terms, because the local currency, African currencies, will always lose value against the dollar. So if you're earning in your local currency, be looking out for avenues in which you can use to earn or to preserve or to dollarize your income, a percentage of it. That's if you're earning well enough. All right. So now that FTX is no more working, or you can't really use, you can also use Binance as well. So if you're comfortable with Binance, you can use Binance to save part of your income. But let it not be so much, but just a part, because these crypto platforms can collapse any day, anytime, and you can't do anything about it because they're not regulated. So always remember, they are not regulated. So don't have so much money in there. If you want to keep money in crypto, use a decentralized wallet. So, but there's also another platform called Bamboo Invest. Bamboo Invest also helps you to save in dollars. So I really wish I would have done. So when I'm doing I think I'll do a more precise presentation and talk about Bamboo Invest. So Bamboo Invest, they are in Ghana and Nigeria. So you can look at their platform, Bamboo Invest, and see how you can best save with them. So they have low risk investment as well. So you can use those low risk instruments and save and preserve your money, and also save in dollar. There's another means for you to save in dollar as well. So you should look at that platform. So I'm not marketing the platform. So you also have to do your own research and look at it carefully. And once again, your heart will be where your treasure is. So if you start using this platform, you have to be monitoring them one way or the other, so that when there's anything about to go wrong, you should know when to remove your money faster But Bamboo Invest, I think Bamboo Invest is regulated, so you wouldn't have much trouble. But that doesn't mean they will not collapse or they can't collapse. So, but once you start having investment instrument like these, you would also be cautious to monitor them. So I think basically this is it. Just touching briefly on this. It's our first time, so I'm just looking how it's going to go. Subsequent series will go into other things, and we might even have a chat on the group and see what we want to talk about and pick a topic and talk about it. So yeah, I think it's pretty much on my side. So the floor is now open for questions. Thank you for coming.
Me, I want to learn how to trade on Binance. So I need someone to teach me.
Okay. All right. So I intend doing so I'm going to, that's a very good question. So I'm going to invite, in our subsequent series, along the way, I'm going to invite my mentor, the one who introduced me to Forex and even to crypto. So he will be the best person to talk about trading on this platform. I can talk about it, but I feel like I shouldn't talk about everything, but I have to invite other people to join the sessions and share their wealth of experience with us as well. We are building a community here. So you're welcome, Emmanuel. You're very late. It's recorded anyway, so I would edit it and drop the recorded session on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to invite, so when you talk about trading, I usually don't encourage people to trade. Even myself, I've not made money in trading Forex. That's the truth. I've actually made more money in crypto than in trading in Forex. And also, so since you're talking about Binance, it means you want to trade in crypto. So there are a number of ways to do that. So there is the way where you can trade off the chart. You can trade against two pairs. Let's say BUSD against FTT or against USDT. So trading means, so this method of trading is that you're looking at the charts and you're looking at two pairs or two currencies or two tokens, and you are trading against them. You're betting. It's also, so there's a debate whether it's same thing as gambling or betting, but I'm not going to that today. Maybe when I invite my mentor, he would be best to talk about. I'll debate with him on that. So you're predicting if the market will go bullish or bearish. And once you're able to make the right prediction, you're going to make profits. So the session is going to end in 10 minutes. As I said, if the session ends, please, let's use the same link to join again. So talking about trading, it means that you're trying to make predictions and you're looking at the charts. You're trying to predict if the market is going to go up or it's going to come down. If you make the right prediction, you make profits. If you make the wrong prediction, you'll be in loss. And the unfortunate thing is that about 80% of traders don't make it. So it takes a lot of time. So what I'll advise you is that if you really want to learn how to trade, don't be in a hurry. Learn. I would drop a link. It's a website called babypips.com. Go there, learn. Don't be in a hurry. You can make profits. People make profits, but most often people are in a hurry. And the problem is that if you don't have any other job you're doing that's giving you money, and you are depending on trading to make money, you're going to be in a very unfortunate situation, because you're going to be putting so much pressure on yourself to make money, which you will not make, because 80% plus of traders lose money. Very few people make money through trading. So take your time, use paper money. It's what we call paper money. It's a dummy money, but it simulates the real market. Use that one to learn how to trade for a very long time. And when you've mastered a particular skill, then you can switch over and use real money to start trading. Then there's other method of trading as well, whereby you can just buy a token. Maybe a news is about to happen. Maybe like Binance, for instance. Binance is about to buy an investment company right now. It's called Voyager. What that means is that Binance token is going to pump most definitely. More people are going to invest into Binance native token, and that will make their token pump. Most often that what happens. So what happens is that once you have the news ahead of time, and always have a fixed amount of trading, don't over put in so much money, over bet or something, because if you lose, you're going to get hurt. So once you have the news information over there, You put in your money. Once the news happen, the token will jump up. Then you can come out of it, take your profit. Always take profit. When you start trading, always take profit. People will be like, oh, let me wait a little. Let me wait a little. Let me wait a little. Before you know, the market will reverse and test the previous resistance or support level, and you lose your money. So yeah, so I'll note this down. A part of our series, I'll invite someone to talk about more about trading, and we'll assist you to get started. But for now, you can go to babypips.com. I'll put it up in the group chat so you can look at it. It takes time. It takes the dedication. It takes skills. So don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Even if it means 1 year to learn how to trade, do it. Your money will not be lost, but you build a skill. It's a real skill. There are investment companies that can give you money upfront to trade for them. So once you are comfortable with what you're doing, then you can at least comfortably make $5,000 a month once you know what you're doing. They call them prop firms. Prop firms. So yeah. Any other question, please?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Esther. Any other question, please? Dollarization, savings, anything in your mind? Emmanuel, you came late. Any question?
I have a question. Actually, I'm asking for more.
Please, can you speak up a little? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I want to ask your opinion on something. Yeah, what do you think about play to earn now? Or play and earn, whatever it is called.
Yes, so whatever it is called, it's not a sustainable, it has never been a sustainable model. So it's not dead. For Axie Infinity, I'm still creating content for Axie Infinity. But what it is that you have to have the skills to win on the leaderboard. And it's not like an easy game anymore. But if you have the skills, I mean, some of you have the skills, so you can compete. And there are also esports. So there are esports where you can also compete and win, or you can compete on the leaderboard of Axie Infinity and finish on top. Those who finish at I think top 20 or top 100 or so, they all get to win AXS, the token, the native token for Axie Infinity. So if you can compete competitively.
Actually, now it's top 40,000, I think.
Yeah. Top 40,000. Wow, that's a lot. So if you can finish in the top 40,000, you definitely earn something for yourself. That's a play to earn method. Or you can participate in esports. Someone reached out to me the last time and was like, he has esports. Do I have any players who will be interested in some of the games? I was like, nah, more of my community members are not more interested in all these things. But yeah, there are communities like that. I retweet their content. When they have a competition coming up, you can participate. There's money to make in esports as well. So you can become a competitive player. Esports is becoming very big and a formal means of competition as well. So play to earn can be a form of esport as well. So if you have a skill in a particular game, all right. Okay. I'll send you their Twitter handle so you can follow them. Soccer. You can follow them and see the games they have, and you can build your skill in that set. There are a number of FIFA play to earn competition out there. I know they do have a number of them on university campuses, whereby they have esports competition on university campuses. So if you're in a university campus, you can compete, and there are a number of them out there. So competitive gaming is a real thing now. So you just have to build your skill sets, and you can compete. Yeah. So play to earn is not dead, but it's not what it used to be. It has changed to something else now, or more of esports and competitiveness.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. If no more questions, I think we can end it here. Emmanuel, no question from you? So we don't waste so much time. We'll keep it short and sweet. All right. Emmanuel is good. So once again, thank you all for coming to my maiden edition of Tales by Moonlight. Emmanuel, please don't laugh at the title. And it's going to be a recurring live sessions every 2 weeks. We meet and talk and just have discussions about tech, crypto. And then the following week, I create a shorter content as well for it. I'll post a live one and I'll modify it and get more links and more supporting evidence to help us achieve the goal in every particular topic. And I'll also invite guest speakers. So we're going to have a guest speaker on crypto trading. that will come to talk to us about it. Those of us want to trade in crypto or trade on Binance or whatever platform, and we look at all the various means of Tales by Moonlight, not Tech by Moonlight. Tales, Tale, Tales by Moonlight. All right, so it's mouthful, right? Yeah. Let's see. If you have a better name, you can suggest a better name though. So you all, once again, thank you for coming and have a good evening.
All right, bye.
Bye.